Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. So as I told you, I was going to take a little mini vacation. I just got back from that vacation, so I want to discuss current key levels I'm paying attention to. It's possible we could push higher. I want to cover those upside targets as well. I did tell you guys to go long from 54K, and that when you hit this ring, that'd be a perfect point too short. We got a $10,000 drop from this point. So we're going to discuss if we do drop where your key levels are, and if we do push up above a certain price, what levels to pay attention to. So that's what we're going to cover. Also, at the very end of this video, I'm going to give you two metrics to pay attention to. These are the two most important things you need to watch, and this has to do with the stock market in general and Bitcoin as well. Also, a certain YouTuber decided to call me out by name, and obviously, you know, I don't like talking about other YouTubers, but if he's going to talk crap about me, well, I'm going to return the favor. So we're going to cover all of that. Guys, three exchanges I trust and use are Bigot, BingX, and CoinCatch. Remember, CoinCatch is no KYC, great option if you're in the US. BingX, you can do up to 150 times leverage. And Bigot is a very well-established exchange. And again, I use them because I trust them. Yes, they have incentives to sign up, but the main reason I use them is because I trust these three exchanges. If you want to sign up for any one of these three, all the links are pinned down in the first comment and in the description. If you want to learn how to trade on Bigot, this is a tutorial video I put up teaching you how to trade. Check this, I'll put a link up to it now if you want to check it out. Make sure you watch this video if you want to learn how to trade. I'll be making videos soon on how to trade on CoinCatch, so look forward to that pretty soon. So I made it very clear, this was put out 11 days ago. It said Bitcoin above a specific price, Bitcoin will moon. And I'll put a link to this video now if you want to check it out. But that did play out. I made it very clear why, if we got above this price, to expect Bitcoin to push up to this ring. And that was this chart here. And just to break it down one more time, why I was bullish and expected the price to push up, and I showed you these three lines, this yellow, orange, and red line. Every time we push above one of these lines, we always get a pump. You can see that happen here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. So all these three lines converge right here, so it made it very obvious for me above 53,500 to 54,000, we were bullish up to that ring. And that's where I said to potentially take profit or short. And it was this video here. This was 6 days ago. I said Bitcoin will top out around, and I said a potential point to take profit was this ring when we make contact. Notice the arrows pointing right here. I said when we make contact, so you would long from 54K up to this ring. That is the point you would potentially take profit on your long, or you would open a short. And as you can see, we had a $10,000 drop when we hit that ring. That was, we dropped down almost 15%. We dropped down from 69,500 all the way down to 59,200. So again, a $10,000 drop. So you knew exactly when to short this. Now the question is, are we topped out? And if we go sideways, how much higher we could go? And I can tell you this is the key level I'm watching, so I'll give you these price targets to pay attention to. And just for those people that say, you know, some people say, oh, you move your rings. Guys, this chart was published on October 26, 2023. Remember, these are the blue rings. I say every time we cross one of these blue rings, we always get a pump. This is that ring. I said when we cross it to go short, but it's very possible we could push back up and test it. So I'm going to hit play on this chart just so you can show you. This is a published chart. This cannot be changed. Notice what happened. We pushed up, and again, watch our previous video. I said when we make contact with this ring, that'd be an ideal point to take profit on your long and to go short. And guys, that was pretty damn close. And you can see how much price dropped. Now price is pushing back up. That's why we need to cover those key targets. In Discord, and by the way, you know, yes, to access my Discord, you have to pay to get access. There's a big difference between a Discord that's free for everyone and a Discord where people actually pay to be in it. They take it more serious. People share their trades. They share trade setups. They share their own charts, because since they're paying for something, they have more respect for it, and they're more inclined to actually, you know, be part of the community, and you don't have a bunch of scammers and spammers and a bunch of crap. But these are people that longed. Again, I was telling people why it was bullish above 43,500 to 44,000. These people went long and did excellent. And then the call I made where to go short, you can see down here. This is when everyone decided to short the ring. These are all people that went long, you can see here. And then when I said to short the ring, and this person shorted 67,000, 136% profit, 162%, 180%, 143, 300. All these people shorted 23%. So again, I just give you key targets to long and short. Whether you believe my long-term analysis or not, my short-term analysis is pretty much always on point. Now I will come back and I will cover that ring and show you upside targets. Really quick though, I want to cover this guy. He again, I wouldn't mention him, but he decided to mention me. So again, I would like to cover this. This guy here giving a middle finger to the haters and the idiots. So this guy was talking crap about me, and what's funny is people consider me the biggest bear in Bitcoin, or one of, and even I knew that Bitcoin was bullish above 53,000 to 55,000 to push higher. Again, me, a bear, saying price is bullish and to go long. And this dipshit right here decides to short Bitcoin at 60,000, right? 60,100, claiming he's the greatest trader ever. While a bear is bullish, makes a correct call, this dipshit goes short at 60,000 with the $35,000 loss, which I'm sure that was way, way higher because price pushed all the way up to close to 70,000. So I'm sure that was probably a $70,000, $80,000 loss at the time. And then this guy is saying, oh, well, this is peanuts for me. I have millions of dollars. Who cares about a $35,000 loss? Well, if that's the case, in his most recent video, he deleveraged when price dropped down to a certain point, so he'd be less of a loss. If he's got all this money and that's peanuts to him, why bother deleveraging? If he trusts so much in his analysis, apparently that $35,000 is not peanuts to him after all. This guy is a hypocrite, and he claims to be a great trader. Let me tell you something. He makes all of his money on affiliate marketing just like every other YouTuber. He claims that the millions he made was from trading, trying to lie to you and trick you into thinking, oh, he's the greatest trader in the world, and if you listen to what he says, he'll make you a millionaire. He's a liar. He's a terrible trader. And again, the proof's in the pudding. I said to go long above 54K, and he decides to short it, and then claims it's not a big deal, but then deleverages when it drops down to the point where it's close to break even. So again, hypocrite, terrible trader, and basically a liar. But did want to cover that. I just thought that was kind of funny. A bear says go long, and dipshit shorts. I think that's very funny. So I will give you a key support levels to pay attention to, but I do want to cover this ring because this is very, very important. So we did get rejected at this ring. That does not mean we're topped out. Now I did cover all of this in Discord, but what I want to point out, and this is very, very important, okay? So right now, so again, I told you guys that a great point to long was above. I said these three lines, if we get above it, that's a great point to long because we've never crossed one of these lines without pumping, and that played out. You can see we dropped down close to this point, not quite, but your main support level now is around 50, let's say 58,982, so close to 59,000. And again, like I said, when we make contact with that ring, again, when you make contact with the ring, that was when you should go short. So we got a rejection around 69,630. So you can see that this is pretty close to our previous all-time high. I'm not saying we can't go above that point, but we do know this, all right? If we start holding above 69,160, potentially 70,248, obviously that's going to get more bullish. But you can see we pretty much got topped out here, so we could consolidate, kind of go sideways, come down to key support. We know that our most strongest support now is down around 54,451 if we break below 59,000. But the thing is, if we consolidate, and this is what I mentioned in that previous video, so if we just consolidate, what you're paying attention to is to see if we get above 69,000, and this is days out, maybe weeks out. So if we hold above 69,000, potentially 70,000, that becomes support. Well, we know every time we hit this ring, and again, from my analysis to be correct, every time we hit this ring is going to be resistance. So we know we're bullish above 69,160, potentially 70,000. So if we start going sideways and consolidate, we push up, we hold. Let me just get my little brush tool here. So let's say we start consolidating. Let's say we come back down, we test support, we push back up, do something like this, and then we start holding above these levels. Well, that's going to be bullish, right, up to this ring again. And again, that could be a potential point too short. But as I said, I believe this is the potential top. And the reason I say this, and make this very clear, every time, and I can historically, if we go back, every time we cross one of these blue rings, we always get a pump. So the interesting thing is these rings, while yes, once you cross this ring, we know we're going much higher, but they can also act as resistance until we cross it. So my point is, we know that if we get above a certain price, right, we start holding support. In my opinion, the highest we can go would be this target right here, okay? Just like you can see, we had our previous high, which this line would represent. We had a key fib channel line right here, plus we had this ring that was a lot of resistance. That's why I said take profit when we hit the orange ring, and that would be a point to go short. Now, you could have opened a long down below, and I'll show you another chart with some key levels on the smaller time frame. My point is we know for a fact if we start holding above 69,200, then we're more than likely headed to this point. But again, there is a lot of confluence. You have these fib channel lines in this direction. You have this ring that historically has always been resistance when we're below it. And if we get above this point and cross this ring, then we know we're going higher. But I do think it's more likely that when we make contact with this ring, this will be a point too short. And I don't think we're getting higher than this point. And we will know because at any point we cross this blue ring, historically, this fib circle is huge. It goes way back. We have never crossed one of these blue rings without getting a pump. So for me, it makes sense that this could be resistance to send us down. So that's what we're waiting to see, is if we get above, hold support above this point. In the meantime, your most key support level below on the larger time frame is 59,300, and your most strongest support right now is around 54,415. That'd be a great point to go long if we break 59,300. Now, as far as, and again, I will keep you guys updated. Now, I can't give you every single target. What's the point of people subscribing to my charts and Discord if I'm giving all this away just to everyone? It's not fair to my subscribers. But I told you guys this was the point too short. This was a $10,000 drop. If you used leverage, you made a killing on that move. As far as our short-term targets, guys, this is the H1 chart. You can see we came down. We did get a crazy wick below, but you can see 60,890 is your most strongest support level to pay attention to. If we break below that, well, your next strongest support is around 58,000. And you can see up here, we did some crazy wicks above this this rising channel, but you can see we got two perfect rejections right here at 67,726, and you see your current support right now to potentially open a long. You see this this red fib channel line was a lot of resistance, right? Well, now that is support. Let me make this a little thicker so you can see it. So that is now your support around 64,441, plus you have this fib channel line here, so right around 64,530. And then you can see your resistance is now this fib channel line, and then your current resistance just above is up here around 70,826. And if we compare, let's go back to this chart. So 68,000 up to 70,827. And hold on, let me grab this here. So you can see the confluence right here. So those are key levels to pay attention to. So if we kind of go sideways and up, that is the point to pay attention. If we get above 69,160, then we're bullish up to, again, this point. And this is, again, this is what's going to be so crazy to watch. We have so much resistance in this area. But we know if we consolidate and go sideways, again, once we cross this ring, if we do, I'm sorry, but that is bullish. That means we go higher. But until we do, this ring is going to be resistance, and this ring is going to be resistance, and that is a hell of a lot of confluence for a top target. So again, that would be the best short ever if we got up to this point. In the meantime, this right here could be the top, and we could drop from this point. So again, pay attention. Your most key level to pay attention to, resistance level 69,100 up to 70,389. But every time we hit this ring, this will be an ideal point too short. And then, again, I mentioned this in Discord. we could just kind of just do something like this. We could push above, hold support, come back up, test this as resistance, but this would be the short of a lifetime. So that's what I'm waiting to happen. Sorry guys, my phone's ringing. I got a spam call. So again, this is what to pay attention to. That is what I'm watching for. But in the meantime, I would consider this a top until we get above 69,200 and then expect some more upside. Now, I want to give you those two things you need to pay attention to, guys. If you want to really know what's going to happen with the markets, this is what most professional traders and most people are watching. But again, before I do cover that, guys, if you do want to get access to these live charts in Discord, the link to sign up is pinned in the first comment description. I have Bitcoin and altcoin charts. I have stocks. And if you want to learn my charting method to find these fib circles, create the fib channels, I do teach this in my tutorial videos. So if you want to sign up for any of this, the link's pinned in the first comment description. If you do sign up, make sure you email me through the website to get access to Discord. You can't pay with USDT, but you need to email me through the website. And again, guys, if you want to sign up for BingX, BitGet, or CoinCatch, remember CoinCatch is no KYC. Those links to sign up are pinned in the first comment description. So the two most important things to pay attention to, again, whether you believe in my long-term analysis or not, short-term targets are pretty much always on point. But the things what you need to pay attention to is the unemployment rate. Right now, you can see that the job numbers, our unemployment rate is starting to push up a bit. We know that when unemployment pushes up, each one of these gray bars right here is when a recession happened. So when you start seeing the unemployment start rising, right, you start seeing it start pushing up higher and higher. And then you see the interest rates drop. So right now, interest rates are flatline. They're not lowering interest rates right now. They're not raising interest rates. You can just see it's kind of topped out. Back here in 2019, it kind of went sideways. When they lowered interest rates was when unemployment started pushing up. So when you see unemployment start pushing up, and then the Fed comes out and lowers interest rates, that is when you need to sell and get the hell out of everything. And I'm talking about all of these top stocks like Microsoft and Apple and Tesla, Nvidia. And again, I'm sorry to say, Bitcoin does follow the stock market. So when you start seeing job numbers go up and the Fed decides to cut rates, that is a top for everything, and that would be the point to get out. So do pay attention to that. But in the meantime, above 54K was bullish. I do think this ring is going to be resistance. I do believe that it is very likely. Now, again, I'm not claiming that we're topped out. I just know historically, and I mentioned this before, every time we hit one of these rings, we get a strong rejection. So either we come back down and we test 54K, that would be a great point to enter along. If we continue up or consolidate, every time you hit this ring, you would open a short. So you know exactly when to open a short when you make contact with the ring. And if we consolidate and go higher and higher, this would be the short of a lifetime. That being said, even if we consolidate and come back down, if we happen to push up, this might be a point to short. But again, just like I said, let me zoom out and show you one more time this blue ring. This is when we were down at around 16,000, and I said once we cross this ring, go long. Just like here, I said this would be a point to short. We did get rejected when we made contact with it, but I said when we cross the blue ring, this is where you would go long. So again, we know where our resistance levels are. We know this ring, this orange ring, is going to be resistance. I said stay bullish before the orange ring. Now that we crossed it, and now this ring is resistant. So we know every time you hit the ring to go short, and we know this point could be the absolute top before we start coming back down and testing these key support levels, which eventually I believe will break. But again, just to make it very clear, if and when at any point we cross this blue ring, now it could be higher. Hold on guys. At any point we cross, come on, work with me here. At any point we cross this blue ring, whether it's up here, again, if we cross it here, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go bullish because we've never crossed a blue ring without getting a pump. That means we have a lot higher to go. Or if we are potentially topped and we come back down and break these key support levels, then whenever we cross this ring, whether it's here or down here, that is the point you buy in and you go long. So I just want to make that clear. And again, I will keep you guys updated, but I just want you to understand why these rings are such a great roadmap for price. And you can clearly see that. If you shorted this with leverage, You know, depending on your margin and leverage, a $10,000 drop, you know, at 50x, you know, people in Discord made a killing shorting that. So again, your levels are here. It just depends when you make contact. We won't know when we make contact until price. But I can tell you these are your key levels to potentially short. If you get above that, that is going to be strong support. And they're bullish up to this ring, but it makes more sense. We will just consolidate and move sideways up to that point if we go higher. And I will say one more thing. If by chance we just shot straight up and we pushed back above this ring and that ring became support, that would be super bullish. That means, hey guys, this really will go parabolic from here. So I just wanted to cover all of that, make it very clear. And guys, that's it. Again, if you'll sign up for Bing X Coin Catch, those links are pinned in the first comment description. Remember, yes, we're getting all kinds of incentives for you to sign up, but the main reason I use them is because I trust them. If you do want to sign up to get access to these live charts Discord, and you want to get access to my tutorials, guys, the links, again, pinned in the first comment description. That's it, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.